Hello everyone, welcome back to the session of English. In this session, we are going to continue with our chapter adverb. Now this is part 8. So let's begin the session. Well, we have been revising adverb using some additional points. So in this session, we are going to read use of some important adverbs. Well, we have started this topic in our last session, but we are going to continue with uses of some important adverbs because there are many adverbs which we use in different manners. So in this session, we are going to discuss all those adverbs so that you may use those words in your daily life sentences easily and properly. So let's begin the session. Well, in this session, we are going to discuss use of very. So let me take the marker first. Let me take this red color. So we are going to read the use of very. Now, very is a very common word. We use it many times in our sentences. So we are going to read or discuss use of very so that we can use this particular word in our daily life sentences properly. Use of much, use of before, use of ago, and use of enough. Well, there are many more words that we are going to discuss in this session. So let's begin. First of all, we are going to discuss the use of very and much. And we will also discuss the difference of very and much in this part. So first of all, we have word very and much. Now, very and much both mean a lot. Now, the meaning of both words is a lot or a lot of something. It means basically we have a word many. Many is an adjective. Much is also an adjective, which means a lot of something when something is a large in quantity or amount. So much can be described as the word many, but both have some difference. Like many is used with countable nouns and much is used with uncountable nouns. But here we are talking about much, which is an adverb. Though this word is an adjective as well, if we are comparing it with many. But if we talk about many, this is only an adjective, whereas this much is an adverb too. So we are going to discuss about adverb. Now we know very well that adverb is a word which describes adjective, which describes verb, and which describes another adverb as well. So here, because this adverb, this much can describe a verb, can describe an adjective, can describe an adverb, and much is a word which can describe a noun as well. So whenever it describes a noun, it is an adjective, and whenever it describes any of these, it is an adverb. So first of all, this should be very much clear to you that much is the part of a speech much is, or the part of a speech of much is adjective as well as adverb, though it is different in both the contexts. Now, very is used with positive degree adjective, whereas much is used with comparative degree of adjective. Now, this one is very, very important part. What that whenever we have 3 degrees of adjectives, first is positive degree of adjective and another is comparative degree of adjective. Now we know well that adverb describes an adjective. Therefore, if we have positive degree of adjective, we use very before it. For example, very intelligent, very beautiful, as it is. And if we use much, it should be followed by comparative degree of adjectives only. Now we cannot say much good. Instead, we should say much better. So whenever we have a comparative degree of adjective, it should be preceded by much. And whenever we have a positive degree of adjective, it should be preceded by very and not much. Now let us discuss this with some examples. Here it is written, Raghav is much strong. Now, strong is positive degree of adjective. Strong is positive degree and comparative degree of strong is stronger. Now we have one more degree of adjective, that is superlative degree. So that is strongest. Now strongest need, the word strongest is a superlative degree which does not need any adjective or adverb before it, because the strongest is itself the superlative degree, the highest of something. So it does not need any adverb to precede it. So whenever we write a strong, this is a positive degree. So much should be replaced with very. So the correct sentence will be Raghav is very strong. But if strong strong were replaced with the word stronger, so we should have written Raghav is much stronger. So if I had a comparative degree over here, I would have used much in place of very. For example, Raghav is much stronger. Now, obviously, comparative degree is used when we compare the two persons. For example, if I say Raghav is much stronger than Ravan, so we could have written Raghav is much stronger than Ravan. So, in that manner. Ankit is much intelligent. Now, intelligent is a positive degree of adjective again, so much should be replaced with very. So, the correct sentence will be Ankit is very intelligent, as you are very intelligent. Now, let us move to the next one. Raj is very stronger than Ravi. Now, I'm comparing over here two persons. Who are the two persons? Raj and Ravi. Now, because I'm comparing these two persons, I'm using a comparative degree and I'm using then, because than is used to compare two things or two persons with each other. Now, stronger is a comparative degree of adjective. Because this is a comparative degree of adjective, we cannot precede it with the word very. So, it should be replaced with much. So, the correct sentence will be Raj is much stronger than Ravi. This will be the correct sentence if we have to use comparative degree of adjective. I hope you got it. Rekha is very more beautiful than her sister. So I'm comparing Rekha with her sister. But here I'm using more beautiful, which is a comparative degree of adjective. Obviously, beautiful is a positive degree of adjective, more beautiful is a comparative degree of adjective, and most beautiful is the superlative degree of adjective. Now, if I'm using more beautiful, it means I'm using a comparative degree of adjective. And for that comparative degree of adjective, I have to precede it with the word much, not very. So very is incorrect over here. It should be replaced with much. So the correct sentence will be Rekha is much more beautiful than her sister. Now, if I just avoid this much from here, if I write the sentence like Rekha is more beautiful than her sister, then also the sentence is absolutely correct. Now, much just emphasizes that she is very much beautiful. It means while comparing with her sister, she is extra beautiful. So, Rekha is much more beautiful than her sister. It emphasizes on her beauty as compared to her sister. So, this is just an expression to show something in comparison as well as an emphasis comparison. So, the correct sentence will be Rekha is much more beautiful than her sister. But if I write the sentence like Rekha is more beautiful than her sister, then also the sentence is absolutely correct. Now, let us move to the next one. Here, we have a word very much. Now, when we individually talk about very and much, we know well that very is followed by positive degree of adjective and much is followed by comparative degree of adjective. Now, what if I use both words together? Now, I use this phrase that is very much. So, in this case, what we do, we use only comparative degree of adjective, not positive degree. Now, if it is written very much, so it should be very much plus positive degree of adjective. Now, if you have heard me attentively, you must have noticed that I used very much clear. That was incorrect grammatically. It should have been very much clearer to you. So I was wrong over there. I have to rectify over here just because, so that you should keep it in your mind forever, or you should remember this forever. Okay, well, now very much should be followed by comparative degree of adjective only. For example, Karthikeya is very much wiser than his friend. This website is very much better than that one. Now, with better is a comparative degree, of course. We cannot use more with it because better is itself a comparative degree, but we can use much with it. For example, much better, very much better. So we can use very much and it should be followed. It can be followed by a comparative degree of adjective. So after very much, we have to use only comparative degree of adjective. If I use very much good, that is incorrect. If I say very good, that is correct. If I say much good, then also it is incorrect. It should be much better because good is a positive degree of adjective for which we have comparative degree that is better, and superlative superlative degree as best. So these are the various degrees of adjective that we have already read in the chapter of adjective. Well, let us move further. Much is also used to describe the characteristics of verb, but not very. This point should be cleared with the help of an example. Let us take this example. If I say he likes her, okay, he likes her. Suppose there is a person A and he likes a person that is B. A likes B. Now, how much? Very much. But if I say very, it is incorrect. He likes her much. This is correct. He likes her much. So, very characteristic of a verb should be told by the word much, not with very. Yeah, of course, we can say that he is very intelligent. So, he's very intelligent, or if we can also say that but if I over here, if I write this like he likes her very, this is incorrect. It should be replaced with he likes her much. So this will be the correct part. Now let us move to the next one. He likes her very much. Yes, of course, this is correct. I like cricket very much. Yes, this is correct. We can use very much, but we cannot use very individually if we have to show that someone likes or loves another person or another thing. Now let us move to the next one. Now there are two more things. We read in adjective as well as in verb that we have present participle. Now let me discuss this with you individually. We have present participle. Now what is present participle? Present participle is actually when we add ing to a verb. Now this is a verb and I'm adding ing to it. Now this is a verb. Let me write it complete. Verb. And whenever I add ing to a verb and it converts into an adjective, if it converts into an adjective, then it is known as present participle. For example, if I say developing country. Now India is described as developing country. So country is developing. So developing is telling us the quality of this country, and developing is basically present participle because it has ing in it. Now whenever we have past participle, it means suppose we take verb and we use its third form. Third form, it means we use ed or eds suffix, or maybe possible there are several other third forms. Like for example, we have a word sing. So for that particular verb, we have third form sung, hang, hung, hanged, like that. So whenever we have a verb in a third form and it is an adjective, it behaves like an adjective, which tells us the quality of a noun. So if the third form of verb, it behaves like an adjective, it is known as past participle. So these are the two participles that we have. Present participle, in which we add ing to a verb and it converts into an adjective or it behaves like an adjective, it is present participle. And whenever we have third form of verb and it behaves like an adjective, it is a past participle. So what we do in case of present participle, we use very. In case of present participle, we use very with it, and whenever we have past participle, we use much with it. This is the correct part. So, much. For example, now let us take some example. This structure is very important for you all. Now let us get back to the slides. This is much interesting novel. Now interesting is present participle. If it is present participle, it should be preceded by the word very, not much. So this is a very interesting novel. This will be the correct sentence. Now let us move further. That news was much surprising. Again, surprising is a present participle, of course, so much should be replaced with very. That news was very surprising. That news was very shocking. So shocking, surprising, these are present participles. And if these are present participles, they should be preceded by very and not much. He was very interested in this matter. Now, interested is, of course, past participle. Now, if it is past participle, it should be preceded by much, not very. So, he was much interested in this matter. This will be the correct sentence. Now, there are several, you can say several past participles, of course, before which we can use very. For example, if I use the word tired, so we can use very tired. I'm very tired. I can use very exhausted. I can use very excited. For excited, excited is of course past participle. So these are exceptions. Whenever we have these participles, that is tired, excited, we can use very before them, not much. We can use very tired. I'm very tired. I'm very excited. I'm very excited for the final match. I'm very tired now. So, very tired, very excited. Before these participles, these past participles, we can use very instead of using much. So, these are a few exceptions. Now, let us move further. Now, we'll read the use of before and ago. Now, before and ago, they both are same, meaning wise, that they just show the preceding time. Both of these adverbs, they show the preceding time. Now, of course, if these are the adverbs, that is before and ago, may be possible they can be used in different parts of speech as well, as we use before in you can say tenses as well, though this is an adverb. So these can be before can behave as a preposition as well. So before and ago, the meaning of it, of course, they show the preceding time or the time before. So preceding time. Now, what happens? Basically, before is used in both past and future tense. So we can use before in both the cases, whether we are talking about past, whether we are talking about future time, whether we are talking about present time, we can use before. But if we are talking about ago, ago is only used in past tense. It can be used only in the past tense. So, ago shows only the past tense. Ago is used only in the past tense. Whereas before can be used in past as well as future tense. Now, let us see some examples. Anjali will meet me before her appointment. So, this sentence is of future tense. So, we are using the word before. And it is showing me that Anjali will meet me. So this will happen after what? Before what? Her appointment. It means this action is the first action and this is the second action. So whenever we show first and second action, we also use this in the tenses part where we read compound and complex sentences. He went to Pune before his marriage. So this was second action and this was the first action. So this is the past tense and this is the future tense. He will meet me before her appointment. So, okay, one thing is here, which is wrong. This will be the first action and this will be the second action. The farmer had plowed the field before it rained. So this was the first action and after before we have second action. Generally, after before we have second action and before we have, or prior to before we have first action. So before means prior to something. Now let us move to the next one. Whenever we use ago. Now one thing we should keep in mind always, whenever we talk about any past time and we know the time of action. Suppose an action takes place. And we know well that when did this action take place? And it took place in some past time or in some time of the past. So when we know the time of action, we know when. When did it happen? We know well. So in this case, we write this in past indefinite tense only. We can write it in past indefinite tense only and not the present perfect tense. That is, we use subject plus verb second form instead of present perfect tense. We can use present perfect tense in that case in which we do not know the time of action. So present perfect tense cannot be used over here when we know the time of past, but it can be used when we do not know the time of past. When we do not know the time of action. So in that case, we can use present perfect tense. Okay. Now, if we see the sentence, I have seen him 6 years ago. Now, I know well that when did I meet him? I met him 6 years ago. It means past time, and that past time was 6 years ago. 6 years ago means before the duration of these 6 years, which has 6 years which have passed. So in that case, have seen is incorrect, which is present perfect tense. It should be replaced with saw him, that is past indefinite tense. So I saw him 6 years ago. This is correct. They have come to Noida a year ago. Now, when did it happen? A year ago. So, of course, have come should be replaced with came, because this is present perfect tense, which should not be used when we know the time of past or the time of action, which was in past. Therefore, we have to use came, that is past indefinite tense, that is the verb second form. So, this is how we can write ago. In simple sense, we can say that ago is generally used in past tense, not present perfect tense. Now let us move to the next one. I met her before the party. So before the party, I met her. So this happened before this happened. Please finish your homework before dinner. So this should be done before this. He left the house before sunrise. So before shows the time or the action that took place before something or prior to something. Now let us move to the next one. Before is used to indicate a point of time or any event, while ago is used to indicate a period of time. Now, point of time and period of time, these are the two different things. Point of time, for point of time we use before, but for period of time we use ago. So point of time we use before, these are the keywords, and for period of time or the duration of time we use ago. For example, he met with an accident a month before. Now, a month is a duration. And if it is a duration, it is a period of time. So we cannot use before. It should be replaced with ago. He met with an accident a month ago. Now, let us move to the next one. I went to Kolkata ago Durga Puja. Obviously, Durga Puja is a point of time. It is a particular event. So we cannot use ago. It should be replaced with before. I went to Kolkata before Durga Puja. The practice of sati was illegal ago 1829. Now 1829 is a point of time, so we have to use before, not ago. Now this sentence is another sentence of this part, the same sentence actually, but another sentence of the same sentence. So this is basically a typing mistake. Well, leave it. So the correct sentence will be the practice of sati was illegal before 1829. Now let us move to the next one. I saw him a week ago. This is right. They moved to the city 6 months ago. The movie was released many years ago. So these sentences are absolutely correct. Now let us move to the next one. Now we'll read the use of enough. Enough is again an adverb, but it can be an adjective as well. Well, we have discussed this word before as well. So I'm just going to describe you this word here briefly, because I've already told you this in detail, that enough can be an adjective and it can be an adverb as well. It can be an adverb as well. What happens if it is an adjective? It describes a noun, and if it describes a noun, it should be it should be positioned or placed before noun. So before noun we use word enough. But if it is an adverb, it can describe a verb. It can describe a verb, an adjective, and an adverb as well. And if it is describing any of these, it should be placed after these. So enough should be placed after any of these words, that is verb, adjective, or adverb. Now let us see some sentences. Guptas are enough rich to help the poor. Now, rich is adjective. And if it is an adjective, so the word which is describing adjective should be an adverb. Therefore, this enough is in incorrect position. It should be it should be placed after the word rich. So the correct sentence will be Guptas are rich enough to help the poor. As I told you that if enough is an adverb, it should be placed after the word it qualifies. If it is an adverb, it should be placed after the word it qualifies. After the word it qualifies. But if it is a noun, if it is a noun, it should be placed. Sorry. If it is an adjective, it should be placed before noun. It should be placed before noun. That's it. Now, these are the 2 points. If enough behaves like an adverb, it should be placed after the word it qualifies. It means after the adjective, after the verb, after the another adverb. But if it is an adjective, it should be placed before noun. Vikas is enough strong to lift the box. Again, strong is an adjective, and if it is if this enough is qualifying this word strong, so it should be an adverb because strong is an adjective, and the qualifier of an adjective is known as adverb. So the position of this enough is incorrect. It should be after strong. So the correct sentence will be Vikas is strong enough to lift the box. This will be the correct sentence. I hope you got it. Now let us move further. Dev runs enough fast. Now fast is an adverb. If it is an adverb, so this enough should be an adverb. So the correct sentence will be Dev runs fast enough. She has enough beaten the thief. Again, beaten is a verb, and if enough is an adverb, it should be placed after beaten. So the correct sentence will be she has beaten the thief enough. Now beaten is verb, the thief is object, and enough is adverb. Because adverb basically comes after the object as well. Now let us move to the next one. I have time enough to prepare my slides. Now time is noun. And if time is noun, so enough should be an adjective. And if it is an adjective, so it should be placed before noun. So the correct sentence will be I have enough time. Now you can see over here noun is time and enough is adjective. So it is placing or it is placed before noun. It is being placed before noun. I have enough time to prepare my slides. They spoke enough loudly for everyone to hear. Now, spoke is verb, enough is and loudly. So we have this is verb, this is adverb. So enough should be an adverb. So the position of it should be after the adverb. They spoke loudly enough, because this enough is qualifying this word loudly and loudly is qualifying the word spoke. So spoke is verb, loudly is adverb, and enough is also adverb which is qualifying an adverb. So it should be placed after the word loudly. So they spoke loudly enough for everyone to hear. So these are the correct sentences using the word enough. Now let us move further. Well, in this session, whatever we had to discuss, we have discussed. I hope you got all the points. These points are now very much clearer to you all. So we have discussed here the use of very much, the use of very, the use of much, the use of before, the use of ago, the use of enough. Now I hope you are able to use any of these words in your sentences properly and clearly. Well, thanks to you.